Hi boys and girls, we have a special video for you today. Laci Green would like to tell you what jokes she thinks are appropriate and what jokes are not. I just think I might have a thing or two to say to this feminist social justice warrior. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. It's time for the show.
When comedians be like,
sweet, right out of the gates with middle school humor.
They were so fat that they're that standing sweat fat. Crisco was coming out of their pores like a fucking Play-Doh fun factory.
I think it's safe to say at this point we all know Nicole Arbor is not funny.
My sister's off the charts. I replaced her pepper spray with silly string. Anyway, that night she got raped.
Oh, I don't like the rape joke, so I'm gonna get my friends and we're gonna ban the internet. Laci, this is what is referred to as shock humor. It's rooted in truth. Some things are often laughed at because of the roots in truth. And knowing that someone would never reasonably do this to another person. Calm the fuck down. Hi, Laci.
oh hi babes, let's talk about jokes.
Yeah, let's do that.
When I first started speaking up about rape jokes when I was in high school,
Okay, so let me get this straight. You've been crying about this bullshit since high school. Why weren't you just studying, paying attention, doing what you're supposed to do in school?
a bunch of my friends were like, oh my god, Laci, it's just a joke. It's just a joke.
Yeah, it is just a joke, so what is your problem with that?
The it's a joke line was just a way to make me shut up when I criticized them.
Well, unfortunately, it appears to have not worked. I think you needed to have friends with more persistence.
As Nicole Arbor learned last week, being cruel and then calling it humor doesn't make it any less cruel.
Calling a joke is not what's in question here. Comedy is a very subjective topic, ranging from funny to not funny. The problem was not only that she was using touchy subject matter, but she in fact is just not funny. She was under the impression that if you act out like a 12-year-old, call some names, and do a bunch of jump cuts, then that would equal comedy. I certainly don't expect you to understand humor or comedy, seeing as though that doesn't seem to be a popular topic in the feminist community.
A pile of shit with a bow on it is still a pile of shit.
And what about a pile of shit with two bows on it?
The most basic tenet of comedy is that it's supposed to make us laugh, right?
Sure, that's the general idea.
A good joke can be clever, smart, uncomfortable, weird, biting, goofy, obnoxious, and yes, even offensive.
But just know if you do make an offensive joke, feminists are going to try to get you banned. And this is not just limited in scope to TV, the internet, social media, magazines, anywhere. They will go after you 100%. In December last year, Andrew Lawrence went under attack by feminists just for making a joke about them. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the joke police.
Hitting the funny bone is a skill, and it isn't easy. But you know what is easy?
This debate? Tying your shoes?
Being an asshole.
That's not true. This takes years of practice. Why can't you be funny and an asshole? Is that going to be some kind of paradox?
Humor is a type of communication. All humor has an underlying message, and that message, whether or not we consciously process it, is the reason why we're laughing.
So let me get this straight. Now you're pissed off because of the reason why we're laughing. Please explain to me how we're supposed to control what we think is funny. I think it's an unfair assumption to assume that it's our responsibility to control how other people feel about certain subjects.
Things like rape jokes, fat jokes, police brutality jokes that come at the victim's expense, that's a key, normalize inequalities that already exist in the world.
Citation needed. Boys and girls, this is what we call a straw man fallacy. Just because X and Y happen, it doesn't always equal Z. Remember when violent video games made you go out and rape and kill people? Yeah, I didn't think so.
People with less power are seen as acceptable targets for cruelty.
I don't think anybody sees them as acceptable targets.
So when we laugh at someone suffering, we're participating in a broader cultural phenomenon where we don't take those injustices seriously.
Or people could be being made more aware of those situations. Just because a harsh reality is true doesn't mean that situation can't be funny.
But nothing should be off limits, the comedians cry. I am an American and I have freedom of speech.
Yeah, for now.
I totally agree. See, I say all manner of offensive shit to the mainstream. I'm out here, y'all.
Yeah, but you're a woman. That's okay, right?
Criticism doesn't mean that the subject matter is a problem. It's not necessarily the topic, it's the approach. If the approach isn't funny, then critics also have free speech to say what they think.
You're damn right I do. The problem is you're not criticizing, you're trying to ban people. You're trying to stop people from performing just because they offend you. And by people, I mean male comedians. I looked all over the internet trying to find one example of when feminists have ever went after a female comic. I couldn't find a single one. Turns out feminists forgot how to equality.
Just like any other other form of entertainment, comedy does not have some special sacred immunity to criticism.
Okay, now you're just beating the hell out of a dead horse. Banning and criticism are not the same thing. Censorship and criticism are not the same thing. Banning and censorship are not the same thing. Pay the fuck attention!
While Daniel Tosh might think that rape is absolutely hilarious,
Oh my god, Daniel Tosh does not think that rape is hilarious. Daniel Tosh thinks it's funny to replace your pepper spray with silly string. The unfortunate outcome was she got raped. It's a joke, it's not real, it's a fictional fucking fallacy. Rape was not the joke, rape was the gut check. If we have to explain to you how the joke works, then it's not funny anymore.
many of us come to comedy to have a good time, not to be reminded that other people see us as less than human.
Who is saying you're less than human? Even rapists don't see you as less than human. If they saw you as less than human, they would be raping things that were less than human.
This bigger comedy debate isn't about constitutional rights, which are robust. Well, generally robust. It's about what's morally right, which is not as robust.
Okay, then whose morals?
What we choose to say and do with our platforms, with the stage, with the mic, with the YouTube channel, with the Twitter account, with the TV show, that speaks volumes about our character.
Okay, so now that you've defined perception for us, please explain to me why I should care what you think about me.
We can punch up at abuses of power, or we can continue to punch at those who are already down.
I have no idea what you mean by the punching, but a good comedian makes fun of everything. The top of the spectrum, the bottom of the spectrum, most of the time even themselves. I'm not even sure what the problem is here, Laci. This just seems like a weak-ass attempt to control what people think and say.
So how do you know which direction something's punching? It's pretty simple. Just ask, who finds this funny? Jokes by no means need to be universal, but who's in the group that's laughing? Are abusers, date rapists, the KKK, high school bullies laughing with me? Who is being validated by the message that I'm communicating?
Really, Laci? Rapists, the KKK, how in the fuck are you supposed to know who these people are? If everybody is laughing, including some people that may even be offended by it, how is a comedian supposed to know they're offending them? Better yet, why should they care if 99.9% of the people think it's funny and you've got this 0.1% you that is just freaking out over shit? Why should we care?
I want to end by saying that it is okay to tell an off-color joke. Color joke.
Now, Laci, what do you mean by off-color? Now do you see why it's really annoying when people scrutinize every little thing that you say?
We're all learning. I've told messed up jokes, you told messed up jokes. We're all idiot humans. I don't
Speak for yourself.
think we need to handle this by burning people at the stake. That's so 1500s.
What do you think we should do? Send everybody a handwritten letter? Apologize for hurting their little feelings?
I think the key is to recognize and apologize.
Called it!
Don't let your ego get in the way. There are some amazing comedians in our YouTube community and in the world. They're making us laugh, they're giving us a place to run away from all the bullshit, and some of them are even changing the world, which is like really sexy to me. It just got really warm in here. But you know what is easy?
You?